Having explained the eternal nature of the soul, Krishna now turned Arjuna's attention back to the battlefield. The wisdom of the soul was important. But Arjuna still faced a decision. The armies had not disappeared. The conflict still stood before him. Krishna knew that spiritual understanding should not lead to escape from responsibility. Instead, true wisdom helps a person act correctly. And so Krishna began speaking about Dharma, about duty, about responsibility, about what Arjuna must do in this moment. Krishna reminded Arjuna of his Dharma, his sacred responsibility. Arjuna was born into the warrior tradition. His role was not to seek conflict. His role was to protect righteousness whenever it was threatened. This battle was not about personal hatred. It was not about greed. It was not about revenge. According to Krishna, the conflict arose because injustice had been allowed to grow. Arjuna's responsibility was not to decide whether duty felt comfortable. His responsibility was to fulfill it with integrity. Krishna explained that opportunities to stand for righteousness do not come often. Arjuna had not chosen this moment, yet destiny had placed him at the center of it. Krishna encouraged him to see the situation differently, instead of viewing it only through fear and sorrow. He should also recognize the opportunity before him, an opportunity to uphold justice, an opportunity to fulfill his dharma, an opportunity to act with courage when courage was most needed. Krishna then asked Arjuna to think carefully about the consequences of abandoning his duty. What would happen if he simply walked away? Would the problem disappear? Would injustice disappear? Would responsibility disappear? Krishna explained that avoiding duty does not remove the consequences of that duty. People who had long admired Arjuna's courage would struggle to understand his decision. Many would assume fear had overcome him. His reputation would suffer. But Krishna's concern was deeper than reputation. He wanted Arjuna to understand that every action and every failure to act creates consequences. Sometimes choosing not to act is also a choice. Krishna then introduced another powerful lesson. Most people become attached to outcomes. We worry about success. We fear failure. We avoid criticism. Our peace of mind often depends on circumstances beyond our control. Krishna encouraged Arjuna to look beyond these temporary results. Victory and defeat are not permanent. Gain and loss are not permanent. Praise and blame are not permanent. What matters is whether our actions are aligned with Dharma. When we focus only on results, fear grows. When we focus on doing what is right, clarity grows. Krishna was not asking Arjuna to become aggressive. He was not encouraging anger. He was not encouraging hatred. He was teaching disciplined action. Action guided by wisdom. Action guided by responsibility. Action guided by dharma. Throughout life, every person faces difficult choices. Sometimes the right path is also the hardest path. Sometimes courage is not about defeating others. Sometimes courage means doing what is right even when fear is present. This is why Krishna's teachings continue to inspire people even today. Slowly, Arjuna's understanding was beginning to grow. Krishna had first taught him about the eternal nature of the soul. Then he taught him about change, about life and death, about wisdom beyond appearances. And now he was teaching him about responsibility, about courage, about action rooted in dharma. The transformation was gradual. Krishna was not forcing Arjuna to change. He was guiding him toward deeper understanding. The warrior who had once been overwhelmed by despair was beginning to see with greater clarity. Yet Krishna's greatest teachings were still ahead. A new path was about to be revealed. The path of Karma Yoga. To be continued. In the next episode, Krishna reveals the secret of Karma Yoga, the path of action without attachment.